If you ask most people what makes a song sound Christmassy, they'll probably say sleigh bells. But although sleigh bells do appear in most Christmas songs, they have also been used in many non-Christmas songs. So using sleigh bells in a piece of music isn't quite enough to make it Christmassy. However, sleigh bells are used in the majority of Christmas songs, and their use in Christmas songs is actually becoming increasingly more common. I took a sample of 139 popular Christmas songs, and I found that pre-1970, only 38% featured sleigh bells. But post-1970, sleigh bells were used in 67% of Christmas songs. And if you look exclusively at the last 20 years of Christmas music, that number rises to 77%. I think this increased use of sleigh bells in Christmas songs is down to the fact that producers and songwriters want their Christmassy songs to sound as Christmassy as possible. They want them to fit in with the pre-existing canon of Christmas music. And one of the ways they can do this is copy certain elements of instrumentation that appear in the existing Christmas classics. And the obvious and maybe the most easiest to add to any song is sleigh bells. So today, Christmas songs are more likely than ever to feature sleigh bells, but sleigh bells haven't always been so closely associated with Christmas. Nowadays, our only interaction with sleigh bells is in Christmas music, but of course historically, sleigh bells were most commonly found on sleighs. Bells were used on sleighs as a way to alert pedestrians, as a sleigh can move very quietly across the snow. So historically, when sleigh bells were used in music, it wasn't necessarily to evoke a sense of Christmas, but to evoke an image of a horse-drawn sleigh travelling through winter weather. For example, Prokofiev used sleigh bells in his Troika theme. A troika is a sleigh drawn by 3 horses, and the piece certainly evokes a sense of rushing across a snowy landscape. Now, even though Prokofiev's Troika theme wasn't originally meant to evoke a Christmas sound, modern listeners might actually associate it with Christmas because it was used by Greg Lake in his Christmas classic I Believe in Father Christmas.
Eyes full of tinsel and fire.
Another historic use of sleigh bells and music is in Gustav Mahler's 4th Symphony. In his piece Schlittenfahrt, which is the German word for sleigh ride, Mozart actually used tuned sleigh bells. Whereas sleigh bells are usually used as an atonal percussion instrument, this piece calls for players to ring sleigh bells tuned to C, E, F, G and A. So how and when did sleigh bells in music gain a Christmassy connotation? Well, much of this came about in the 20th century with the advent of the secular Christmas song. Historically, Christmas music, much like Christmas itself, was religious. Christmas music largely came in the form of carols, songs about the birth of Christ, and as you may have noticed, you don't often get sleigh bells on performances of Silent Night or Once in Royal David City. But over the last century, Christmas has changed. Christmas and Christmas music is no longer so focused on the story of Jesus, but on the story of Santa Claus. And of course, Santa rides in a sleigh that has sleigh bells on it. So sleigh bells have become an obvious instrument to add to any festive song. Potentially the first secular Christmas song to be recorded was Jingle Bells. Originally entitled One Horse Open Sleigh, Jingle Bells was published in 1857 and went on to become one of the first secular Christmas songs to become popular around the world, despite the fact that it was originally written as a Thanksgiving song. It was first recorded in 1889 onto an Edison cylinder, making it most likely the first Christmas song that was ever recorded. Unfortunately, it seems that there are no surviving copies of this 1889 recording. However, we do have a recording from 1898 by the Edison Male Quartet. And sure enough, this 1898 recording of Jingle Bells, perhaps the earliest surviving recording of a Christmas song, features sleigh bells.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing on the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
So sleigh bells have been used since the very beginning of recorded music. But that's not their only impressive accolade. Sleigh bells were also one of the first instruments ever played in space. On December 16, 1965, as the spacecraft Gemini 6A was set to re-enter Earth's atmosphere, the astronauts on board, Tom Stafford and Wally Schirra, reported seeing a mysterious flying object above the North Pole.
Very low, looks like maybe going 300 feet. Stand by one. Looks like he's trying to signal something. We got him too, 6. That was live, 7, not 6.
You're too much, 6.
The two astronauts had smuggled the instruments on board unbeknown to NASA, so when they started playing them, ground control got a real surprise. So what does make a song sound Christmassy? Well, the answer lies in the reason why I find Do-Wah-Diddy by Manfred Mann to sound Christmassy. See, when I was younger, every Christmas we'd go to my grandparents' house and they had this singing trout thing that would sing Do-Wah-Diddy by Manfred Mann. So as I'd never heard this song anywhere else before, and I heard it every single Christmas, I came to associate it with Christmas. And that's what makes a Christmas song sound Christmassy: association. Every year at the same time, we start doing a bunch of things that we almost never do at any other time of the year. We cover our houses in lights, we place trees in our living rooms, we have mulled wine and turkey and mince pies, and we listen to a particular set of songs. So of course we are going to naturally associate all of these things, all of these traditions, with Christmas. And personally, this is why I think that many people, including myself, get annoyed when Christmas music is played too early, because, as I said, the whole currency of Christmas music, the reason it sounds Christmassy is because we associate it with Christmas. So if you start hearing All I Want for Christmas Is You in late November, it starts to break that spell. So this is why Airbag and God Only Knows don't sound Christmassy, despite the fact that they feature sleigh bells. The only real thing that makes a song sound Christmassy is when you only ever hear it at Christmas. Now, at the end of all of my videos, I say thank you to my Patreon supporters, but today I wanted to say an extra special thanks to them, because for obvious reasons, my usual income sources of teaching and gigging have become a lot more difficult this year, but having the consistent support of Patreon this year has allowed me to focus on this channel and focus on my videos and actually grow the channel and do some really great stuff that I'm really proud of. So thank you so much for all of your support, including the names on screen right now, and Abigail Allen, Andre Science-Diaja, Andrew Brown, Austin Barrett, Austin Russell, Bob McKinstry, Brittany Parker, Cameron Orlevaler, Chris Cabell, Christopher Ryan, David Lee Fish, David Rivers, Donald Howard, Dr. Darren Wicks, Elena Skorchenko, Esben Hansen, Eugene Leroy, Eyes, FD Hodor, Guillermo Latona, James Ko, Jay Kokensparger, Joe Watson, John Dye, Jonas Soderstrom, Justin Vigor, Lavender Mint Rose, Mark Height, Melody Composer Squared, Michael Vivian, Nancy Gillard, Nathan Lawrence, Paul Muller, Paul Pazel, Peter Dunphy, Piotr Chmielowski, Roger Clay, Sam Lynn, Scott Fenley, Sean Kennedy, Steve Daly, Stephen Lazaro, Tim Beaker, Trisha Adams, Tim Payne, Toot, Victor Levy, Vidad Flowers, Vladimir Kodakov, and Volti.